In April 2019, the American explorer Victor Vescoso set a new world record. He managed to dive about 11 kilometers in the Marianas Fossa. What he saw there was a strange-shaped fish, 4 new species of crustaceans, a pink snail and a plastic bag. Hello guys! Apparently not even the bottom of the deepest oceans in the world can escape human activity. Plastic waste is the largest part of our trash. This is because plastic takes a long time to decompose and an incredible amount is still being produced. In the 1950s, when mass production of plastics began, its production was about 2 million tons. But in 2015 it reached 448 million tons. They say that in 2050 this number will double. Many plastic products are discarded and taken to the sea, where floating islands remain or are taken to the beaches. Hey, does anyone there get an extra planet Earth for us? All this garbage has to be treated. But why not collect all the garbage and throw it into space? I believe that all of you have already thought so, right? Here on our channel we transform your idea into videos. Let's see now what happens when garbage is thrown into space and why no one has done so far. Come on, it's time to start our video. Space launch. First, let's consider how we can launch something into space. Earth's gravity keeps all objects firmly together and prevents them from flying. It takes a certain effort to overcome this power. If we throw the ball into the sky, it will come back to us. Perhaps a strong man like Hulk is able to accelerate the ball at a speed of 7.9 km per second and launch it with such force that it would be placed in a low Earth orbit. And if Mr. Hulk tried to throw the ball at a speed of 11.2 km per second, the ball would move away from the Earth. I'm sorry, Mr. Hulk, but I don't think I'm going to play volleyball with you anymore. What I mean is that to put a rocket in Earth's orbit or to go further away from the orbit, the rocket needs to be accelerated at a speed of 7.9 km per second or even faster. And if you're going to throw garbage, you'd prefer a shorter distance for it to come out cheaper. Isn't that right? Why can't you put garbage in orbit? Because it's obviously absurd to put garbage in Earth's orbit. Doing this wouldn't solve the problem, but it would make it even bigger. As shown in the movie animation Ollie, the Earth's orbit is already a real garbage dump. Old satellites, parts separated from rockets and small pieces of coverage equipment are flying around. All this garbage is circulating the Earth, sometimes at a tremendous speed of about 28,000 kilometers per hour. Even a flock of peeled paint at that speed could pose a serious threat, for example, to the International Space Station. To ensure the safety of the International Space Station, scientists are constantly monitoring the movement of space garbage. If they detect any sign of danger, no matter how small it is, they can issue instructions to slightly elevate the orbit of the space station or at least evacuate the crew. According to data from the European Space Agency, there are currently 34,000 large objects in the Earth's orbit and impressive 900,000 small objects up to 10 centimeters in diameter. It's impossible to track all this garbage. In 1996, the Ariane rocket debris hit a French satellite. In other words, space garbage is already a real problem. To ensure that we can continue to launch new rockets in the future, scientists around the world are thinking about how to capture this space garbage and return it to Earth. Adding more garbage to orbit in such circumstances is an absolutely terrible idea. And it's not just that. The garbage that flies around the Earth will end up becoming slower and will begin to fall. Part of the garbage will be burned in the atmosphere, while others will reach the surface in giant fireballs. It's like a meteor shower. The difference is that the smell is bad. There is nothing good about breaking the garbage into small pieces so that it burns in the atmosphere before it is sent into orbit. This is because the waste burning process releases harmful chemical substances that can cause serious health problems. It is unlikely that the garbage shipment to Earth's orbit will work. So it's time to think about other ways. Send garbage to the sun. Why are we in doubt? We have a huge incinerator that burns all the garbage, don't we? Yes, a sun. First, let's prepare the rocket. How many rockets will be needed? According to World Bank data, the population produces 2 billion tons of garbage per year. This number represents the situation of 2021 and should increase even more in the future. The rocket with the largest load capacity we currently use is the Falcon Heavy, invented by Elon Musk. The payload of this rocket is approximately 64 tons, but this amount is based on the assumption that it will take the rocket to Earth's low orbit. If it is transported to the Sun, the payload would be much smaller. Even if by some miracle we were able to keep the payload at 64 tons when we took it to the Sun, it would take 31.25 million rockets per year to take our garbage to the Sun. The cost of launching a rocket is $90 million. If you wish, you can try to multiply this value by the number of rockets, but the number of zeros will probably be scandalous. In addition, all these expensive rockets are one-way flights and cannot be used elsewhere. It is simply not economically viable. There is also another problem: the risk. Historically, one of the most reliable rockets is the Soviet Soyuz U. The rocket was launched more than 800 times and there were only 22 accidents. This means that the success rate of launch of this rocket is 97.3%. This is a very good number, but even a single launch can cause a lot of problems if a rocket full of garbage fails at launch. Waste remains in the orbit of the Earth or falls on Earth. It is not possible to do anything with our current technology. So, let's wait for a space elevator or a space anchor to be invented. Of course, the wait will only be possible if we are not buried in our own garbage while it is being invented. Alternative. But then, is there nothing else we can do? In fact, there is. We have other ways to combat waste. Currently, the most popular is the zero waste movement. Adepts of the zero waste movement are practicing an increasing awareness of everything we use in our daily lives and are proposing to stop using single-use plastic products. For example, millions of toothbrushes are taken to the sea, but they can be made of bamboo. Cans for drinking cocktails can be made of metal and can be used several times. And plastic bags from supermarkets can be transformed into ecological bags or ecological backpacks. The zero waste movement encourages people to recycle everything possible. Plastic bottles, cans, and glass containers are taken to designated collection points while organic waste is treated and used as fertilizer. They also believe that everything should have a chance to be restored. They try to make purchases in used stores and fix t-shirts with holes instead of throwing them away. The ideal, according to them, is that these improvements in lifestyle reduce the amount of waste per family to the point of reducing it to a single half-liter bottle per year. Of course, all this is great, but it is worth trying to increase awareness not only about individual responsibility, but also on behalf of producers. A special law is necessary to control plastic products, especially disposable ones, and also recycling factories for waste disposal. Many countries are working on this, but the most advanced is still Sweden. In Sweden, only 1% of the waste is taken to landfills and the rest is recycled. I keep thinking here how good it would be if all countries had done this. Well folks, and so we come to the end of our video today. Thanks for watching to the end. Well, in short, we will never be able to throw garbage into space. Maybe that's a good thing. Otherwise, it would be like the cartoon Futurama. Have you ever watched it? The people of New York threw a giant ball of garbage into space, and in the 30th century the ball came back and almost hit the ground. Even the cartoons on TV know that this is a bad idea. Reflecting on what we talked about today is a good idea, but be sure to subscribe to our channel, because we will still have many interesting subjects to share with you from now on. A big hug and see you soon here on the Wikipedia channel. Until then.